So, welcome everyone. This is going to be my tutorial and explanation on how certain tricks work in 80%, namely our infinite jump trick. And the first thing I want to show with that is how we get to Cordova Town. So I'm standing here, and this is the entrance that you're going to use to Cordova Town. As you can see, it's blocked by this little square where we can't just take the stairs that are underneath here. So we can't go that way. But I also want to show that if you look from in here, you can see that area over there. So we're going to get to that area over there from in here. Except we can't just do that because there's these invisible walls like here that prevent us from doing that. So we're going to line up roughly like this with this torch. It's not very precise, don't worry about that too much. We're going to want to have two of these weapons. And we want to, so we can just switch them like this. If we don't make two, we'd have to switch them like this. This is slower than switching them like this. Another thing you're going to want for this trick is your bird type instant devil. It's pretty important. So we're going to jump, attack, and then immediately pause once the attack begins. We're going to equip our other weapon, unpause, attack, and pause quickly again. And we're going to keep doing that. Unpause, attack, pause. Pause, change weapon, unpause, attack, pause. For a little bit. You do have to do this fast. If you're going too slow on your attacks, you won't gain height. If you're waiting too long to pause, you'll fall back down. And there is the chance you can just miss your attack. So you want to pause quickly if that happens. And usually if you're missing your attack, it means you've hit the button to attack too fast. Missed my attack. And you could see I started to fall back down a little bit. So now I'm sure I have enough height, so I'm going to unpause, hold forward, and jump forward. I thought I jumped too far for a moment, but it's fine. Then I'm going to jump up here. Also, when you jump up here, you want to do a short jump. Jump up like that, which means you just want to tap the jump button. You need to face the camera this way first, because if you try and face it this way first, the camera gets stuck on the wall and won't spin further. Then we're going to line up roughly this way, and then we're just going to press glide. Now we're going to glide over here. I paused a bit too early on the first pause, but you want to pause when Hector's feet are in the floor. Then we're going to switch the weapon. Unpause. We're going to fall a bit. Use glide. I paused again because I need to be holding directly left on my control stick. Because if I don't hold directly left, it doesn't work. So I want to be roughly in the center of the map on the hallway that I'm mostly in, and going pretty straight. Then I'm going to... Here's good. Actually, it's not. I want to line up with the tip of the triangle being just before the wall. Then I'm going to switch my weapon again, unpause, fall a teeny bit, attack, then I'm going to do the same trick I was doing earlier to jump upwards. Also, there's no floor below me at all. Or if there is, it takes a long time to get to. So it's just easier to say there's none. You might be asking, why didn't you just go from the first room you were in, though? And the answer to that question is, when you're in that room, the loading point there disappears when after the room loads. So we need to load the room while effectively being in the loading zone. And now you can see the thing is gone. However, if you do what I did, it's not gone. When you So, as you can see on this file, it's never went to the forest. It goes immediately to Cordova Town when I do this. Is it this way? Yeah, here's the basement of Cordova Town. And we go through Cordova Town in this manner, as opposed to going through the forest. Also with this, if you miss the loading zone, it's possible you could get back in bounds like right here. Here if you're over too far to the left. Over here too far to the right. You can also... Oops. You can also get to where you stand like right here where the room loads, the loading zone disappears, and you have the what was on top of this above you. You can also land too far forwards, which means you'll be out of bounds in this room. And if you get out of bounds in this room, you can just glide back over there from the out of bounds. But inbounds means you'd have to go around and get out of bounds again. Another thing about when we did that glide is we wanted to hit the button to let go, which was the weapon swap we did, when we hit that rail there. Because if we do it too late, we'll land in this room, and we don't want that, because we don't want this room to be loaded. So, there's that one. So, my next trick I'm going to show is going to take place in the mountains. So there's that barrier there. We're going to kill off all the enemies on this side of it, which aren't here because I've already cleared this room. We're going to jump, attack the barrier, and pause. We're going to switch our weapon to a different blade. We have to switch it back to the one we had equipped. We're going to make sure we attack. And jump over it, like that. And as you could see, I had to switch back to this sword, but I was using this one to make my swapping a bit faster. This is the Xbox version, so I can do this. You cannot do this on the PS2 version. You can, however, do this on the PS2 version, because you don't switch the weapon subclass. And also, when you do switch your weapon subclass, the game takes slightly longer to unpause. Well, that's not entirely accurate. It stays on the black screen just a bit longer. And also, one more thing about this is I cannot swing this weapon if I just switch to it. The same is true if I do it this way. Even though it's the same subclass, I can't actually use the weapon. So if you do this, you can't use your weapon until you land back on the ground. That was an obvious example, but it makes sense. So another trick I'm going to want to show this next trick won't quite be accurate to any %, and I'll explain the reason for that. It's also relevant for the prior thing, which is why we wanted to kill the enemies. So in this room, this is a boss room. Usually you'd have to fight the boss. So you'd have the water around here, you'd kill the boss, this ramp would rise up, and you'd go up the ramp. However, we're going to not fight the boss, not have the ramp, and just get back up there. So we're wanting to get to this room, right here. So we're going to jump up onto the ramp, kind of in this range. So we're going to align ourselves with that. However, the boss is going to be in here, and you're going to have the boss targeted with the lock one. So you're going to want to turn that off. And when Hector swings a weapon, he'll usually swing it at whatever enemy is in the room. We don't really want him to do that because it moves him in a direction, and we want to go pretty much straight upwards. So we're going to line ourselves as if we could go straight upwards, but we're not actually going to. In fact, you should probably jump more closer to up here, but for the sake of my demonstration, I'm going to jump from back here. So jump, attack, pause, weapon swap, attack, repause. And we can see the camera should flip around here because it wants to not be in the ceiling. So now I can't see where I want to go, which is fine, but I want to jump towards that platform. Do an attack, and pause again. Now, it doesn't matter, I do my weapon swap, but then I hold any direction on the controller stick. Then I need to unpause and attack. And I need to do that kind of jump to keep the momentum I have from the jump. And as you can tell, I am moving a bit forward every time here. And then we can land up here. A few notes about this is, because you're up here, so I can do this because the boss is defeated. If you try and use these, you're going to get an error sound. You go in here, you get the bird type innocent devil, and you're going to want to warp out of this room. Because again, you never beat the boss, and you're in the boss room, so your tickets don't work anymore. More in this room. Additionally, this door still is locked. You cannot leave through this door. So you have to warp out of here, and the place you're probably going to want to warp is going to be right here. So I'm also going to show this despite the fact that it's not used anymore. What you're supposed to do is get your bird, use glide, and land over here. But we don't even need the bird, because for that same thing I did at the end of the fight, I can just do it like this. And this means I don't even need the bird in many places. But why didn't you do that for your going into Cordova Town then? The answer is, it is extremely difficult. Because you need to jump at a pretty precise angle. You start from this room, you have to jump off, pretty much going directly towards the corner. And then you need to do another jump from there to re-angle yourself this way to get in there. You can also do an infinite jump trick. Right here. So you don't don't have to beat the infinite corridor to lower the water. So thank you for watching this. I would show this, but it's pretty much the same thing. You just have to go to the top of this cliff in front of you. This is how we get to Dracula's castle early. Also, when you get here and use brute force, don't jump. Just walk forward. Because when you use brute force, the cutscene will put you back on this platform. Also, want to show this because I don't think I explained it quite well enough. So, even though, so I'm not holding the direction, Edgar's doing this. He's attacking towards the enemies. I can change that. if I hold the direction, he doesn't do that. However, because we're not holding the direction when we're doing our jumps, because we don't want to be, we get an attack towards enemies. I believe that's everything I want to show you. So thank you for watching.